Hello, Zeus.
Continue.
How's it going today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. All right. So, the first thing I want you to do is just introduce yourself to our audience.
So my name is Suz or Zuzana. I go by Zeus. And I am from Slovakia, a little country in Europe. Currently still living here. I am 30. Yeah, I'm 30, almost 31. Oh my God. Um, and currently I'm a nutrition coach with the FLA movement with Chastity.
Yes. Do you have kids? Are you in a relationship?
Fortunately don't have kids. I am in a relationship, but I do have dogs. So yeah,
Those are like your babies.
they're like my babies. They're little furry babies.
And currently, you live in Slovakia, but when we met, you lived in Australia.
Exactly. So I lived in Australia for like 5 years, got back about 3 years ago, I think, or just before I think COVID hit. So like the COVID is basically my mark to figure out time. It was about 3 years ago when I got back. Yes, I lived in Sydney
Perfect.
before. That's where we met.
I know.
When we
That's
met.
so
Yeah,
crazy that we met
I
that
know.
long ago. It's been so long.
Well,
A
yes,
lot
it
of
has.
changes. So, think back to
Hmm.
when you started with a nutrition coach, when you started with me. And I was with another company at the time. What made you want to hire a coach at that time for nutrition?
So earlier, I worked with a nutrition coach before I
Mhm.
contacted you. I worked with a different nutrition coaching company, and I mean, it worked okay. It's just as the time went on, it was just like getting old, and me and my then coach didn't have that much of a connection. So I kind of stopped, and then I figured out that I still needed someone to tell me what to do. And I still needed, a nutrition coach because I was doing CrossFit at the time and I was like super intense exercise. And I knew that I wasn't fueling myself properly. I knew I was under eating, but I needed a guidance from someone who knew what they were doing. And I also needed to learn about nutrition a little bit more. So I found a different company, the one that you worked under back in the days. And it was so long ago that I don't remember if you got assigned to me or I specifically asked for you. But
Yeah,
I think you got assigned to me, and then Renee specifically asked for you
I think that's how it happened
because
too.
yeah, because I already worked with you and I was like, yeah, Chastity is cool. Just like when you ask for a nutrition coaching, ask for Chastity as a nutrition coach. So I think that's how it happened. So yeah, we started working together while you were with this other company. Back in the days, it was the old school check-ins, the email check-ins, right?
Huh?
So we didn't even really meet. And I think it was email check-ins and a phone check-in once a week or once a month,
I
sorry.
think so. I very, very
Yeah.
little phone connection.
Yes, very little connection at all, or whatsoever. And I know like you changed the whole check-in process because you were over it as well. Like you were over like writing emails and doing that stuff. So you flipped it into like phone check-ins or video call check-ins every week, which I think was a big game changer in our relationship, definitely, but in having that bigger connection with me as a client and you as a nutrition coach. So, and yeah, ever since then, here we are.
That's crazy how long ago that was.
Yeah.
So, since having me as your coach throughout all these years, tell us about your results, like your body composition changes, how many calories you've changed over the years, injuries, like how you've changed sports.
So it happened so long ago, and I feel like it was a few lifetimes that we lived. But so many things have changed. So many. So when I first started with you, I was severely under eating. Like I was literally, and I like telling the story, and I think I told it at the excursion as
Hmm.
well. it came to a point where I was working as a CrossFit coach back in Australia, and there was a day I was eating so little and training so hard that I was physically incapable of getting out of bed. Like I was so tired, so flat that I literally just like texted the owner of the gym and just told him I'm not coming in because I couldn't get out of bed. And I knew like that was not normal and that cannot be happening. And back then, I think the averages of my intake would come down to 12 or 1400 calories. Like I was barely eating. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was thinking. Um, so and I was at a point like I was one of those people that was like I'm not dumb, but I was like, "Oh, if you want to lose weight, you can't eat carbs, right?" So I was one of those. So that's how I basically cut all the calories. But I knew like I can read, like I'm not stupid, like I'm working in this area. Like I knew that I have to fuel myself if I want to work out, that I have to eat carbs, but I just needed someone to be like, "Hey, you're just being an idiot. Just eat your food."
Yep.
So that's how we started severely under eating. So we started reverse dieting, and I think we got to a point where I was eating about 2,600 calories, roughly 25 to 26, still competitive doing CrossFit. Um, Back at that time, I was strong, but I was also a bigger girl. So at the moment, I'm about 76 kilos. Back then, I was like 86, 88. So I was 10, 10, 12 kilos heavier than I am now, which I mean is what, 25 pounds heavier,
That's
roughly.
yeah.
Um, that's a lot. But I wasn't fat. Like it was,
Mhm.
it was the CrossFit inflammation, bloat, and muscle mass. So
Yes.
if
Yes.
you could see the pictures of me back in the days, like I had cheeks and I was like, yeah, I was strong. But so yeah, we we reversed up to 2,600. And then um I moved back home. So I left Australia after 5 years. I moved back home to Slovakia, and I've always had issues with my right ankle. And as I was leaving Australia, like one of my chiros or physios, they've told me like we've been working on this ankle for like months and years now. Like there's definitely something going on. Like you might need a surgery or something because they were not able to fix it at all. So as soon as I got home, I got MRI. I was like, let's fix this ankle because it was getting stuck. So I couldn't properly exercise. And yes, they were correct. Like I needed a surgery. And that was kind of like one of the other turning points for me as well, where after I had the surgery, I couldn't do CrossFit really. And I flipped CrossFit into weightlifting. So I started focusing more on weightlifting. So the weightlifting side of things, where I didn't really want to do CrossFit anymore. But it just meant that I needed to rehab and heal my ankle first before I could do anything with it. And that also meant like slightly changing the diet. And I don't think we massively changed anything. Like we were just focusing on like me actually eating food because I
Mhm.
wasn't exercising as much. So again, it was a challenge for me to get enough food so I can heal properly. But what happened was I started losing weight.
Mhm.
So, and I don't mean just like losing weight, like losing fat, or I was just like, I started shrinking. So that's when basically kind of my weight loss down to 76 started. And it was mainly because I stopped doing CrossFit, I think. Like the
Yeah.
inflammation just disappeared.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, as I was getting, healthier, the ankle was getting better. I my metabolism has started to change too, and I started getting more hungry. And I remember it wasn't that long ago where we literally would check in every single week. And I was like, I'm hungry. Like we would
Uh-huh.
eat 2,800 calories. I'm hungry. 2,900. I'm hungry. 3,000. I'm hungry. 32,000. I think that's the highs that we got up to,
Yep.
where like literally my body just went, yeah, I need food. I need food. I need food. I need food. And as I was eating, I just like kept getting stronger, healed my ankle, kept training, did weightlifting, up until very recently, where I think my body would just like settle now.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm eating now, but I would roughly guess, because whenever I don't weigh or measure at the moment because
Hmm.
life, but but I think I'm roughly around 2,600 calories now, because that's what it comes up to every single time I would just like weigh or log. So I got pretty good with understanding what my body wants after years and years and years of doing this.
Hmm.
So right now we're at roughly 2,600 calories. I know we tried to make me gain weight because of the weightlifting, but it's so difficult. Like for me, it's so difficult to eat more food than I actually want and force myself to eat. So we haven't really been that successful. Like the highest we got up to is like 77, I think. And
Hmm.
I'm a 76-kilo lifter. So yeah, we got up to 77, and then every single time it goes over 77, my body is just like, you're not eating anymore, and it just brings it down again. So I think we found my set point where my
Uh-huh.
body just doesn't want to go anywhere. So yeah, I think this is where we are at the moment.
Yeah. Very, very happy. From like 1,200 calories to
Oh my God.
2,600 calories,
Yes.
from losing 25 pounds, eating a ton more food through injury, travel, moving.
Yeah.
I mean,
Changing lives, like moving, not even like moving countries, but like traveling halfway, like through the planet, literally
I
other
know,
side of the
right?
world. Oh my God. Yeah, everything. It's been crazy time we've had together.
Yeah, and just your journey with your body has been incredible, to see how it's transformed because of your consistency. And the consistency has allowed you to now not have to worry about consistency because it's become habitual. It's just
Yes.
your body just knows what it needs, you eat it, and then you work out. And we found that with a lot of FLA people. So what is in your future and your new goals with fitness and food? What are you wanting to do in the future? Because we got to watch you.
Yes. So I'm still lifting. I'm
Hmm.
a lifter and I still like to compete. So I'm still competing. I'm a 76-kilo category lifter at the moment. This is how the categories are. They might change in the future, and they will. But yeah, I am preparing for nationals in October. But yeah, other than that, I just want to keep getting stronger,
Hmm.
keep getting bigger, keep lifting bigger.
Eating lots
I'm
of
not really
food.
eating lots of food. Yeah, and don't really it doesn't sound right when I say that I don't care what I eat, because I do, but still, like, going back to me being consistent for years and years, it's it's not involving my all day, like my whole day anymore, right?
Hmm.
I have the same breakfast. I usually have very similar lunches. Like my snacks are pretty much the same. Dinner kind of the same. It's been years of doing the same thing, so I know what I need, and I know what I feel like when I don't have something that you know need or want. So and with all that, like, I can go out and go have fun and eat out when I want to. But like, I was in the States not that long ago, right? We finally met after years and
Yes.
years, and Luke just kept taking me to all these places, and I was eating all the American food and those ginormous portions, and I did gain a little bit of weight, but it
Tiny.
wasn't even that tiny bit of weight. And that was it. Even after all those like calories, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's just, yeah, I say it's the years of consistency when my body's just like, yeah, we just want to stay at 76, 77. This is where we're comfortable, so that's where we're staying.
So if you eat more, we're
Because
burning more. If you eat less, we're maintaining.
yes, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Which is great
fortunately.
because where you want to go, it's a good thing. We'll just slowly keep feeding you. Is there anything else you would like to share with someone questioning joining the FLA movement? And you're a coach, so is there anything else you would like to share?
Well, I would say if people are thinking about joining or, like watching all these videos and our experiences, I mean, I'm the first person to stand in line to say that meeting you and working with you was literally life changing.
Thank you.
And not just nutrition wise, because yes, that's a part of it, but definitely like every single area of my life. Like I'm a different person and a better person thanks to you. And we're continuing to work together.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if I would always say like we have a beautiful, beautiful group of or tribe of people, right? That literally probably they all have different, paths and different experiences, but in general, they are all going towards the same goal, just
Hmm.
be better, whatever their goal is, like body wise, life wise, just going from an island to island. And definitely, definitely a life changing experience that I think anyone deserves, really.
I agree. And
Yeah.
they should do it for themselves.
Exactly. That's the first thing that they should do, like for themselves. Like, no one else should tell you to do this. Like, you need to do this when you want to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
That is so true. I love it. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for taking time
Thank you.
in your afternoon and my morning.
Anytime. Yes.
And
Anytime.
I will see you live at the next excursion and FaceTime tomorrow.
Yes.